I bought the PC gaming rig of my dreams, and it was all planned by AI. AI has leveled up in the past few years, offering new use cases and agentic experiences that take search to new heights. But can it beat the experts when it comes to making complex buying decisions? Last year, we used AI to plan our vacation, and now we're back, pitting the two biggest AI platforms against each other to help me build the gaming rig of my dreams. So strap in, because I'm joined by TechRadar's resident computing expert, Matt Hansen, to find out if ChatGPT and Gemini can navigate challenging supply chain issues, provide accurate information, and help me build the rig of my dreams as a first-time PC builder. So Matt, we're recording this in the midst of years-long disruption in the PC market. So what's the landscape now versus, say, 3 years ago?
Well, it's both better and worse. It's a bit of a funny one. 3 years ago, we were coming out of a global pandemic, and that led to chip shortages. There was also a big boom in cryptocurrency mining, which put a lot of pressure on GPUs. That was really difficult. That's subsided a bit now, but we've now had an issue where the boom in AI is taking a lot of memory-based products such as RAM and storage and making that very scarce, and that has meant that those components have really risen in price. Building a PC has become quite expensive again, but for different reasons.
With my burning questions answered, Matt and I sat down to ask our AI companions for their top tips. You can read my full prompt in the description box below, but the long and short is that I instructed both agents to act as a computer technician supporting a first-time PC builder. That means providing real-time and market-aware recommendations to the user, balancing their target budget with performance needs, personal preferences and compatibility, and surveying the user to build 3 PC options. ChatGPT dove straight into its fact-finding mission, asking a wide range of questions to help inform its recommendations. In places, these were a little more technical than a true newbie might be prepared for, but overall the queries were pretty easy to follow. But ChatGPT did go harder on some of those technical terms that I found quite hard to follow myself.
Yes, I think that was the thing I was a bit worried about. If you're a beginner, you want clear advice. That's what I do when I'm giving people advice on TechRadar or just in day-to-day about building PCs. Skip the jargon. It doesn't impress people. It just confuses. Don't get caught up in that.
Meanwhile, Gemini asked far fewer questions and padded out much of its response by acting as a hype man that I hadn't asked for. The questions covered most bases though, and felt much more suitable for a first-timer. So it's asked me here which games I play most, and it suggested GTA 6 is an option. Not already out.
No, not yet, sadly.
And not coming to the PC for probably another year after launch on console, so great start. And then here it said, building a PC in 2026 is an absolute treat. We've finally moved past the supply chain chaos. We've moved past it, Matt. There's no RAM crisis.
Thank God for that.
We're free.
Yeah. Kind of right. We haven't moved past those particular supply chain issues, but there are new supply chain issues which are causing problems.
I told both chatbots similar information, though naturally ChatGPT got more out of me with its broader range of questions. I want a gaming PC that can handle AAA games with some degree of future-proofing, and I'd like next-gen features like ray tracing and DLSS, but I'm not motivated by them. And I want it to blend seamlessly with my industrial loft-inspired home decor. All of this with a budget of $2,000 to $2,300 or £1,500 to £1,700 in the UK is a pretty challenging ask in today's market, even for a human being. I'll also link my responses in the description box below so you can read my needs in full. So with all that in mind, as well as the current state of play in agentic AI, what do you think that ChatGPT and Gemini might face as obstacles in this?
I think a big part of it will be what kind of information they use. If they're looking back 6 months to a year, if they're using information from then, they're going to be giving incorrect prices. And I know that building a PC under budget is a really important thing. If they get the price of RAM wrong, that could throw your whole build out of whack. So I think that's a big concern. I've always been concerned with like hallucinations. They come up with something which doesn't exist and they say it with so much professionalism and so much like enthusiasm and confidence that you believe that it exists, but it doesn't actually exist. Building a PC, you need to make sure all the bits and pieces are compatible. That could be their strong point because they're just machines looking at the specs, and that could be really good. Or if that hallucination comes into play, I don't want them recommending a product to go in another product and them not work together.
All right, well, let's find out how they do then. Both chatbots came back with their recommendations, which you can see on screen here, or check out via the link in the description. But there certainly were some quirks to their responses. So the motherboard, it suggested the MSI B650. Is that going to work for us with this build?
It's a slightly older motherboard. It has PCIe 4 slots. So if you were to get the very latest graphics cards, they benefit from PCIe 5, which is slightly faster bandwidth. It's not the end of the world, and it will help save money, but I think that's something that's worth paying attention to. And I see also they say solid VRMs for the Ryzen 7. That's just jargon, really. I don't think that you really need to know what that is. And it's a bit weird because if you're trying to use this as a beginner, you don't want jargon, so then throwing stuff out like that isn't ideal.
Obviously, as we come to RAM here, we're seeing our first instance of where that outdated information you mentioned earlier comes in, because it's quoting £105 for 32 gigabytes of RAM. Do you have an estimate of where you think it probably sits right now?
That particular RAM would probably be about 4 or 5 times more expensive.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you could get 32 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM for £105, $100, you'd be very lucky these days, which is a real shame because RAM used to be one of the more affordable components.
Right.
Not at the moment.
Not anymore.
No.
Not anymore.
For gaming, like that, anything like that, you'll want an aftermarket cooler. So I'm a bit concerned that they didn't mention a cooler at all, because also some CPUs won't come with a cooler, and you do not want to be running a CPU without a cooler attached.
It's recommending us that we go with the first option, which is called the Loft Specialist. It said the Fractal North is a dream to build in. It is a bit funny when it comes in with this like first-hand-esque experience, right?
It talks like it's done it. Where is it getting the information that it's a dream to build in? It might be, there's probably like a review online, maybe a customer said that, but it's kind of pitching it as its own thing, which strikes me as being a bit inauthentic.
Yeah. So here's an example of what I was just talking about there. It's a bit technical, right?
It's talking about the AMD Radeon RX 9070 XT, which is a very good GPU for gaming. But one of the things it says is that it's clearly ahead of the RTX 5070 from NVIDIA in raster performance. And that's, again, I think that's just jargon.
Yeah.
You don't really need to know about that when you're building a sort of mid-range PC.
And then looking at the actual builds it's given here, so it's recommended an AMD Ryzen 5 7600.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout for keeping the price down. It's getting on a bit as a CPU, so I wouldn't go any older than that.
Interestingly, for this third build, it's recommended us to use a used or refurbished RTX 4070 Ti. What would you say to that based on the spec?
That's a tricky one because using refurbished second-hand tech is a really good way of keeping the money down. It's also better for the environment. However, a second-hand GPU is a bit of a risk because the RTX 4000 series came out at the height of that cryptocurrency boom I was talking about.
Oh, of course.
So a lot of second-hand GPUs of that age will likely have been used for mining, and that takes a huge strain on the hardware and shortens their lifespan. You know, it's not a dreadful idea. It could save you some money, and the 4070 Ti Super is an excellent GPU still. If you don't know the history of the card, you don't know what condition it will be in, approach with caution, I think, with that kind of recommendation.
Oh, and then again, best if you emotionally value NVIDIA features more than you value raw price or performance.
Yes, you shouldn't emotionally value NVIDIA features. Certainly as a beginner as well. Maybe if you were talking to a PC gamer who's done it for ages, they might have almost like a tribalistic kind of love of NVIDIA versus AMD. You're not going to have that as a beginner. So it's just another weird kind of like tonal whiplash.
And again, not really giving you the context information that you need as a beginner, right?
Yeah, because there are some very good reasons why you would rather have NVIDIA features, because unfortunately for AMD fans, I have to say, I think the DLSS upscaling tech is a lot better for NVIDIA compared to AMD's version. Multi-frame gen as well. So there's some nice features from the NVIDIA side that you could want to have on your PC.
Yeah.
And it's nothing to do with emotions. It's all about just what gives you the best possible experience for the best price.
Matt, what do you make of ChatGPT's recommendations overall?
Yeah, so it's not bad sort of selection at all, really. I think, you know, we pointed out the 32 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM. That's about what I would go for as a minimum these days for a gaming PC, but that's going to cost a lot. But yeah, AMD Ryzen 5 7600 is a good CPU, though slightly older these days. GPU, I think, is a good sort of balance between performance and price. You know, solid.
And then what about Gemini's?
Gemini's, yeah, so it's got a more modern, more powerful, recommending an AMD Ryzen 7 9700X, which is a core. Interestingly, it suggests an NVIDIA RTX 5070 at 12 gigabytes of VRAM, and actually the 5070 Ti, which is slightly more powerful, more VRAM, a bit more expensive, but that will give you longer future-proofing, because that additional memory is much better for 4K gaming. So it's not bad as well. It recommends the same amount of RAM, 2 terabytes of storage.
I do find it interesting that both have recommended the same case as well. Obviously, I went for a very specific aesthetic. I went for industrial loft because it will fit in nicely.
I mean, I think that's the best choice. Yeah, fractal design they do some very nice, very stylish PC cases. So I'm not too surprised they both recommended that. And I think that was quite good that they sort of identified the look you were going for and came up with a good suggestion for the product. Yeah.
And I think Gemini asked me about the RGB preferences as well, which is nice because I didn't necessarily want something that's lovely and slick to be completely ruined by RGB as much as I love it.
You're going to get some RGB though. If this is a gaming PC, you're going to get a bit of RGB in there. But it was good that it asked you that, because some people love it and some people find it a complete turn off.
Ultimately, we went with the top picks from both chatbots, and with my build selected, it was time to send the chatbots on their way to find me the best prices for my components. Gemini immediately identified a possible improvement to its own build by upgrading to the NVIDIA RTX 5070 Ti to further future-proof my machine. A useful tip, yes, but somewhat undermined by the fact that when I asked it to fetch me purchasing links and real-time cost estimates, it kept changing the configuration of my PC after it realized that it couldn't fit the original brief. After some course correction, it told me the lower end machine would set me back by around £1,409, while the bigger build would land in around £1,684. ChatGPT, on the other hand, also did some rejigging once I'd prompted it to help me find a cooler, because it had forgotten to do so earlier. And even then it suggested holding fire on my order until prices stabilise. Its final total was £1,765. For the first round, ChatGPT took a slight lead.
I did like that it asked lots of questions. That was good, you know, because you do want that back and forth a bit. Better tailor the build that you're after.
In terms of the shoppable experience, it was a clear win for ChatGPT. The purchasing links all worked, for one thing, from ChatGPT, which was good. Although I was able to find some better prices elsewhere, and I think that's also where the human element comes in quite nicely. These AI chatbots are not quite as good at scanning for real-time prices as sites that do that all the time, like TechRadar. I actually found a couple of those components for cheaper myself, which was good. Gemini's links, though, that was bad.
Really?
That was a real mess.
I'm surprised, seeing as it's Google behind it, you know, I would have thought their links would have been pretty good.
One of them took me to a toupee.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, I don't understand why. I can't figure out why. I did try and point out the issues to Gemini, but it just kept changing my build instead,
Right. Oh, really?
because it couldn't find the things that it was saying that it could find me at those price points, I think. I think the frustration I had there was that it wasn't able at that first juncture to do some of the market research that I wanted it to do about pricing. So it did the recommendations first and then worried about the rest of my needs, like budget, later. Bit frustrating.
And as soon as they start linking to the wrong product, confidence in their recommendations just plummets. And then, because it's funny that it sent you to a toupee, so if they sent you to the wrong processor, you might not realise that. It might be a slightly older one, different connectors or whatever. That's a bit more dangerous. At least if it had been something outlandish like a wig, you'd be like, oh, okay, I know that's wrong.
Yeah.
But if it's a processor but it's a different model, suddenly you might have a completely broken build.
Especially with all of the access that Google has to shoppable links.
Yeah, that's really surprising. I would have thought they would have really sort of like leaned into that. And was it Gemini which suggested that RAM was 100 and...
Yes, it was. I think they both did suggest that it was going to come in around that level before we asked them to do pricing links,
Right,
interestingly.
okay.
Although ChatGPT was in the end closer by a long stretch with its pricing estimates. So Gemini quoted a total price of £1,409.68 for its build. But by the end, once it actually found the right links and looked into things, it was £1,725. And even then, I'm not entirely convinced some of those parts were actually on sale. Its bigger build using the TI was quoted at £1,684, but that would have actually come out at £2,189.
That's a big difference.
Very off. ChatGPT, on the other hand, super accurate. It estimated a total cost of £1,765, but there were some live offers on the links that it had sent me, which meant that it actually came down to less at £1,752. So a £13 difference in the overall estimation. Pretty good for ChatGPT.
Especially with such a budget-orientated build, the fact that Gemini's predictions were so off, it's kind of a deal breaker really, I think, because you've set a budget and it says, hey, you can build this brilliant PC for this amount, and on paper it looks like a great PC, but then all of a sudden you're spending £500-600 more. That's just not going to be any good for most people. No. So I do like the fact that ChatGPT was pretty close to its original budget.
Yeah, and I think still couldn't get some of those live offer things we were talking about earlier. Still can't find you the best prices available, but it can find you that ballpark figure.
Yeah.
Overall, we decided the best build was ChatGPT's.
I do think ChatGPT is probably more on the money with what you're after, I think. Yeah. That will be closer to your budget. I think the NVIDIA one, which Gemini suggested, will be harder to come under budget just because it's got quite ambitious components on there. If you're a beginner, you're absolutely beholden to these AI suggestions. If this is what you're using it for, you want to have confidence that it's giving you the best advice. And I think Gemini hasn't quite nailed that.
I think overall, ChatGPT felt more accurate and on brief throughout, and it knew from the beginning of this process that I was not going to be able to stick to a £1,500 budget and it was going to need to stretch to £1,700, and it let me know that early on, which I like. I think that was good. So Matt, we've seen the full responses. How reliable would you say AI is as a stand-in computer technician?
It was very good at researching, so bringing together the components. I didn't spot any sort of big incompatibility issues, which is probably one of the biggest concerns for beginners. So I thought that was good. I didn't like the fact that it didn't really take into account current market conditions. It both gave the wrong kind of ballpark price for RAM. A human should know that the current market conditions mean you can't get RAM for around that price at the moment, and that affects then the entire budget. I wasn't a massive fan of the jargon use. I think for a quick way of putting together some compatible components, very good. I think it's still lacking on the human touch.
Yeah, I don't think I would have felt as confident as I felt going through this process if I hadn't had you to double check everything for me, which you spent a lot of time doing, so thank you for that.
That's all right.
So that's our expert's opinion on the experiment, but what do you make of ChatGPT and Gemini's recommendations? Let us know in the comments down below, and make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the next episode, where we'll follow instructions on how to build the PC from our winning AI, ChatGPT.